Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. Please help yourself to breakfast and honestly sponsored. You know, why was the base of Mikdash destroyed? And the most popular answer that's given it, in the Mashachar base of Mikdash, we hated each other. There was a lot of sin and chinim among the Jewish people. Rav Noach Weinberger notes that there was an evil king Achav who worshipped idols, but he was very successful in battle, more so than other kings. Why? Because the people were united. So when the people are united, we have tremendous power. But when we're not united, God takes away His protection over the Jewish people when we're not united. In fact, we sort of recently, God forbid, in the case of October 7, why did Hamas attack at that particular point in time? They saw the fighting in Israel. They saw the division, and they know that when the Jews are fighting, it's unfortunately a good time to attack the Jewish people because you lose some of your divine protection when that happens. There's a story where Moshe Green used to be the rabbi in the Bach here in town. From Farak, from Yoshev. One time he's driving in Queens and he hits a pothole. You know how New York City streets are, and his tire goes out. He calls AAA on his cell phone, and a half hour later, a Latino man in his mid-60s pulls up in front of him, and he shakes his hand, and then he starts talking to him in Yiddish. And he goes to the Latino truck driver, AAA driver, and goes, "Are you Jewish?" He goes, "No, I'm not Jewish." So then he goes, "How do you know Yiddish?" He goes, "Well, I hung out with your buddies, Rabbi Teitelbaum in Williamsburg." "You mean?" He goes, "You mean the Satmar Rebbe?" He goes, "Yes." He goes, "What happened?" He goes, "On numerous occasions he was given the job to protect the Satmar Rebbe, not from outsiders necessarily, but even from people that were thronging around the Rebbe. He dressed like a chassid. There used to be a time when they used to dress like Hasidim, where they dress like a chassid. He dressed like a chassid, and he was there to protect the Rebbe. He was the Rebbe's bodyguard." So yes, Rabbi Green asked him, how do you know to protect people? Well, listen, if they're hunched over, I know that they're no problem. But if they're really standing straight, then I know there's probably some problem with them. Maybe they're an infiltrator or somebody who's not paying attention to his studies. That's what he said. So then he says to him, "Listen, the Rebbe's wife took care of it, gave me kugel and cholent, and I enjoy being the bodyguard." Then he goes to Rabbi Green, he goes, "You ever heard the expression Yiddish a cup?" He goes, "Of course." And he goes, "Tell me." It means that Jews are very smart and clever people. I heard you guys had a temple in Jerusalem. You had a beautiful place to go for the holidays. And then I heard thousands of years ago you were exiled because you guys didn't get along with each other. Is that correct? And Rabbi Green said yes. And then Donnie looked at Rabbi Green in the eye and he said, "If you guys are so smart, you have a Yiddish cup, how is that in 2,000 years you haven't figured out how to get along?" And Rabbi Green looked at him and didn't have an answer. And the truth is that if we did get along, if we learned the lesson from 2,000 years ago, we would have the base of Mikdash. We would have a different kind of Tisha B'Av. In fact, we say every Monday and Thursday, we say Yehi Ratzon, we ask God for different things. They would say, Achenu Kol Beis Yisrael, our Jewish people, talk about Achdus. We don't say maybe God's will. It's not God's will, it's our will. If we're able to absorb the lesson that Moshe Green heard from Donnie, the truck driver for AAA, and realize what it means, the Tikkun Olam means that if we can get together with Achdus, we won't have to commemorate a fast day of Tisha B'Av. We can have our temple back in Jerusalem. Simple, but not so simple, but that's our challenge that we have now and every day throughout the year. If we really, really want to go back to the temple in Yerushalayim, we have to start at home by being nicer to one another. Have a wonderful day.